guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to film a tutorial for you, which is my foundation, contour, highlight and kind of like makeup setting routine. I know I've done like foundation and contouring that in previous makeup videos, but I've never talked about it or gone into depth on what I'm using and why I'm using it and how I use it. So this hopefully will help some of you who are struggling on how to contour and highlight, or you just want to find a good foundation. So this routine is kind of a heavy makeup look. This is not my go-to every single day makeup. Obviously I do not have time to do this every single day, but if I'm going to a special occasion and I'm making videos or I need to take some photos or whatever, then this would be my go-to contouring routine. So I hope it helps. So I've already done my eye makeup and my eyebrows, so I'm going to go ahead and apply the moisturiser that I'm currently using and loving. It's the Clarins Hydra Matte Lotion, and if you have oily skin like me, this is perfect because it's very light but it also moisturises really well, and I like to just put a thin layer all over. Then next, just like always, I'm using my Bobbi Brown corrector in Light Peach, and this is a Real Techniques brush. This is number 201. So I'm just going to apply that underneath to counteract any like dark circles. Moving on to foundation, I'm going to be using the MAC Studio Fix Fluid in NC20 and a Real Techniques buffing brush which looks like this. So I'm just going to apply a decent amount onto the brush. So I like to just dot this around my face so that it's evenly distributed, and then I'll go in and blend afterwards. And this foundation is really good if you want good coverage and a long-lasting finish. I also like that the colour matches my skin tone perfectly, because finding foundations for my skin tone is a lot of a nightmare because my face is naturally a different colour than my neck. But with this one I find that NC20 is just perfect. So now that my foundation is all nice and blended, it's time for the concealer, the highlight and the contour part. And for the concealer, I'm using MAC Pro Longwear Concealer in NC20, which is the same colour as my foundation, but somehow I find this is a little bit lighter. So I put one pump on the back of my hand, and then just using my fingers and a mirror that would help, I apply that in a triangle shape underneath my eyes, just like that. And I find that this concealer is great at not only covering but also brightening as well, so it's like a 2-in-1. But I make sure that I don't apply it too close to the lash line because you don't want it running into your eyeshadow or your mascara or anything. You want to use a brush to slightly push upwards at a later stage. So just there, like so. And then I like to put some just around the nose area because that's where I get like dark areas around the nose. And then for the rest of the face, for the highlight, I don't use the concealer. I actually use this one, which is a little bit more brightening because it's made for that. It's a MAC Prep and Prime Light Boost, and it's the yellow one. It hasn't got a number, it's just the yellow one. I have like a pink one, a yellow one and a peachy toned one. So I put just a little bit in the corners of my eyes. I put it on my forehead like so, and then I like to bring it down the nose bridge like that. And to be honest, it is quite a heavy look, but I only do this when I'm wearing a full face of makeup. And then just on the laugh lines like that, on the chin, bottom of the chin, like so, and then some there like that. And that's basically the highlight done. All I need to do is blend it in. But I'm going to go in with the contour, which is the NARS Matte Multiple Stick in Cappadoce. And then I like to apply that down here halfway. So down here as well, halfway. And then because I have quite a round face and I want to make it seem narrower, I'm going to apply this at the bottom of my ear here and bring it straight down to the chin. So in a way I'm trying to cut out this lower jaw. Not cut it out, but I'm trying to contour it and erase it. So just bring that down here like so. The bottom of my earlobe and then down straight to the chin. And as you can see, it's just gonna redefine and reshape. And then I put a little bit on here, a little bit around the forehead. And then finally I need some down the center of my nose, which I like to use a brush for that just because it's more precise. And for that I'm going to use a MAC 219 brush just because it's small and precise. So I take a small amount onto my brush and I just bring that down here. Like so. And for me, nose contouring is a must because I have quite a flat nose bridge and it's quite wide at the bottom. So contouring just helps give an illusion of a slimmer and taller nose. I'm going to start by blending in the highlights first. I'm using a Real Techniques, I'm pretty sure this is a contour brush. So just with patting motions, it's gonna pat that into the skin. So now using the Real Techniques Expert Face Brush, I'm gonna blend out the contour. And when you're blending out the contour, you want to be careful not to push it too far. You don't want to like over blend it and make it, you know, a part of your entire face. You know, try and keep it in the areas where you apply it, and you just want to push that in and gently blend instead of trying to like over blend it. So I'm just gonna pat so that the product is slowly blending outwards, and then just give it a little helping hand and a little push. So last but not least, this step is optional. If you like the way your face is contoured, then keep it that way, but I like to just blend it in a little bit more. So I go back in with my foundation brush, which I applied my MAC Studio Fix Fluid with, and I just stipple that around the contour edges just to soften it a little bit and make sure it's not too harsh. So then it's important to set the face with powder, and I'm using the Shu Uemura Matte Powder. So I'm going to apply some underneath the eyes first, because I find that when you use a big powder brush, it doesn't really get under the eyes and it's not as precise. So I'm using a small brush. This is a Sigma E50 brush, and I'm going to just pat that underneath the eyes. So now you know that underneath the eyes is nice and set, and you're not going to get any of those crease lines later on in the day. So I'm going to go in with a powder contour, and this is just to really even more bring out all the contour areas and everything, because now that it's all nice and blended, you want to just like bring out a little bit here, and then maybe a little bit on the nose, and then you want to obviously highlight, which I haven't done yet. So I'm going to use the Maybelline Master Sculpt, and this is the light version. So I'm going to use the contour shade, which is this one, and just apply a little bit on the hollows. You don't need to go overboard because you've already got a quite strong contour, but it's just to really help define certain areas that you want to bring out a little bit more. Highlight, so I'm going to use number 2, which is the highlighter. I'm going to put this down the centre of my nose, on the forehead, a little bit on the cheekbones, which is basically where we want to highlight, Cupid's bow, and then on the chin where we highlighted earlier. So that's the contour and highlight done. So I'm going to finish off the rest of the makeup and then show you the final result. Finish the rest of my makeup and I'm finally going to go in with a setting spray. This is the Urban Decay Oil Control De-Slick Spray. I love this stuff, it's so good. So just a light spritz of that all over the face to set it, and it helps make the makeup look more skin-like instead of, you know, too cakey, because obviously we put a lot of concealer, foundation, powder, all that kind of stuff on the face, and it can look a bit like a mask sometimes, but this just helps it like set it and blend it. I don't know what it does, but it just makes it look more natural and less cakey and powdery, so that's good. So once I've done that, I'm finished. So this is the finished contour look. So yeah, hope you like it. I hope this tutorial helped you in some way or another. I know I do a lot of foundation things and that in my makeup tutorials, but I never go in depth into what I'm using and how I'm using it and stuff like that. So I hope this was useful, and if it was, please give it a thumbs up so I know that you like these kind of videos, and I'll film more of these videos in the future. But for now, have a lovely Sunday evening and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys. And it's called Spice Lip Liner by MAC. It's a really nice nudie brown colour, and then the lipstick is Freckle Tone, which is a